Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am a failing artist. I'm trying my best to get my business up and running, but I have ADHD, so I get into hyperfixations of different art and different ways of doing art. And then I wind up going down rabbit holes and all of that fun jazz. So I'm gonna introduce you to Hyperfixation Station. Welcome, fam, and enjoy as I do episode 1, episode 2, episode 3 of Hyperfixation Station. You may be thinking, wow, if you go down rabbit holes like this, why isn't video editing one of them? Shut up. That's why. Also, I might cuss a lot. I work in a warehouse. Don't censor me, please. I want to cuss. I want to say shit and fuck sometimes. Okay? I'm an adult. Let me do that. Okay? So yeah, welcome to episode 1 of Hyperfixation Station. That was a weird sound. My mouth makes weird noises sometimes. So, the first art I ever did was, of course, on a piece of pen and paper. As a child, I would escape into the world of Transformers. Transformers was like my big thing. It's the only tattoo I got. I'm obsessed with Transformers. That will be some of the episodes in Hyperfixation Station where I will just go off about it. And I started with a pen and paper, drawing frogs with wings, praying mantises, dragons, and slowly over time I started drawing dragon people. Oh, and of course Transformers. Now I do digital art, but before that I had one very successful piece that I made out of acrylic paint and a canvas. And whilst I love canvas and I love acrylic paint, both of those things cost money, and digital paint and digital art does not cost money. And I'm broke, so I can't afford to constantly buy canvases, let alone have the room in my apartment for all of the canvases and all of the things, which that's part of my issue. I have a lot of hyperfixations when it comes to art. I've gone into so many mediums at this point, and I'm going to take you down these rabbit holes with me because I've learned a lot about these different art styles and these different pieces of art in the process. My art style is psychedelic. I love color, bright colors, if you couldn't tell. Love it so much. I love things that glow under black light. I love things that change under color changing lights. I love things that look like they're moving. I love optical illusions. I love all that stuff. That stuff is my favorite. What I want from people is for them to look at my art piece and every time they look at it, see something new in it. Even I see something new in my painting sometimes. So without further ado, I'm going to show you the first, in my eyes, successful painting I have done. One of my favorite things with this painting is that it's, in this light, has like a reddish hue to it. It's got like warm tones, right? And it makes such a beautiful art piece. There's so much going on here. And whilst it looks really cool under this light, under black light, it's a completely different vibe. Without further ado, check this out. Look how pretty she is. I mean, let's try to do it from a different angle. There we go. It's got a completely different aesthetic. It's gorgeous. And it changes the color of everything. It makes it feel like she's traversing the night almost. And it's one of my favorite pieces that I've ever done. This was one of my first successful pieces working with blacklight. And honestly, the blacklight here really doesn't do it justice. But I wanted to do more than that because, you know, there's only so much room on someone's wall, right? So I started trying to find other things like fabrics and making clothes because everyone loves clothes. And so I started looking for more clothing. I got more clothing patterns, more clothing patterns, and I plan on doing custom pieces with my artwork. But it's a lot harder to get artwork that's hand painted onto a piece of fabric very easily and have it be the same quality. And that's when I found digital art. Oh my god. It has opened up an entire new world, especially when it comes to psychedelic, fun, colorful things. The amount of detail I can add now, the amount of things I can do with these pieces, oh my god. They are so cool. I can make them move. I can add all sorts of stuff to it. There's so many more things you can do with Photoshop and with fancy editing sites. I wish I started this sooner. Now every piece that I do comes out exactly the way that I wanted it to. And I am so happy with it. Unfortunately, I'm terrible at marketing or sticking to one medium, because now that I have digital pieces that I can have printed in a mass amount, I now have to figure out, first off, how to use Etsy and how to use Facebook Marketplace and how to use, you know, all these different places. And oftentimes I don't get enough foot traffic for what I do. But there's also tapestries, there's carpets, there's even shoes. I could start sewing shoes and making really cool stuff. I have now started to trace my pictures onto pieces of glass, and I am now starting to make stained glass mosaics as well, which sent me into another rabbit hole, which I will be talking about in the video with the stained glass piece. I'm hoping I make enough art pieces and collect them over the years and over time that I can actually open up a shop and have multimedia versions of my art pieces, because I feel like staying in one media, especially when I have ADHD that wants to bounce all over the walls, is the worst solution for me, because then I'll get bored because it's the same thing every day. And that's what I'm trying to get out of. I'm trying to get out of the monotony of daily life with my artwork. So in order to do that, I have to learn new ways to create things. And so I can keep myself entertained while also selling my art. So, all that being said, welcome to the most chaotic channel you have ever come across. Bye!
Blue, look at my art! Oh, look at my art! Look at it! Look at it!